Welcome to Zen Woman. I'm Kirsty Jones, founder of Zen Woman, and today we're going to talk a little bit about manifesting. So we're coming up to the new moon soon, which is a perfect time for manifesting things in your life, for setting your intentions and your goals, and really starting you on the path towards being one step closer to where you want to be, or to what you want to have, or to who you want to be. But before we can manifest, we need to let go of the things that are holding us back. So before we come up to the new moon, it's a really good idea to take some time to think about the blocks that are there for you and the blocks that are holding you back. Sometimes it's something as basic as being told that you were not very clever at something as a child, and that stays with you and you think, I'm not smart enough. Or maybe you knew someone who had what you want, but they weren't a very nice person, and so subconsciously you've attached a block to that, thinking, well, you've got to be a horrible person to have that. You know, rich people, they're always greedy, or they've always got it by unhonest means, or, you know, we set up these ideas, and these ideas become our walls. They hold us back, they chain us down, and they stop us from progressing. You will be whoever you want to be, or whoever you need to be. It doesn't mean you're going to be like the people that were like that before, and it doesn't mean you're going to be like what people have said before or what ideas you were. We all grow and change. Even if you were a sort of person before, it doesn't mean you have to stay that way, and it doesn't mean you will, and it doesn't mean you still are. So we need to take some time to really think about clearing that out and letting it go. A really good way is to take some time to meditate on these things that feel like are holding you back, and think about, why aren't you succeeding? Whatever it is, whether it's that you want to get married, or you want to have this high paid job, or you want your own business, or you want to be a size 10 or a size 8 or whatever the sizes are. Think about that and think about what's stopping you. Why don't you feel like you are that? Do you feel like success is for other people? I'm always going to be a big girl. I've never been smart enough. And when you say them out loud, or when you write them down, do you see how they're not really real? These are all things up here. They're not physically in the world. They're not scientifically proven that that is what's holding you back. The thought of that is what's holding you back. So take some time to just think about that and just let that sink in. A really good way of releasing that is to write them down on a bit of paper and burn it. And watch that smoke rise, watch the ash form, and see those blocks crumple and burn, freeing you from those. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. But releasing your blocks and working on that is really important to be able to take in the energy to move forward. There are a lot of other techniques. So a lot of people use tapping. So you tap on certain meridians. I am worthy, I am ready, I am going to take the next step, I am capable, and you tap on certain points. So that's something you can research into if you want to. And also to have a positive focus, not just on what you're not accomplishing, but on how far you have come. So maybe you feel like you're not worthy to be wealthy, but you've still come a long way from where you were as a child, or 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 3 months ago. Actually sit and think about the gratitude that you have for how far you have come on that journey, not just how far you've got to go. So once you've worked through that and we come into the new moon, you can research those ideas. I'm just sort of skipping over them briefly just for this video. Then we can come into actually creating those things that we want. Never think that your dreams are too big. Never. And the first step to do is to dream. Sit and think about what would be amazing in your life. What would inspire you? What would make you want to jump out of bed every day? What is it that you want? I advise vision board in this. So cutting out some pictures, or drawing some words, or getting it out on paper, engaging your whole brain, the physical body, everything, and getting this dream into a reality. Even if it's just on paper, even if it's just on a board, make it into something that's in the physical world. Not just in your head. And then when you've got this dream, or these dreams, they can be multiple things, we can start to break it down. So if you want this 5-bedroom house, well, what's the step down from having a 5-bedroom house. You know, maybe you can't just jump from having no house at all to a 5-bedroom house. So there's a middle step of maybe having a 2-bedroom house. So then we can start to make some notes. Okay, so the top is 5-bedroom house, 2-bedroom house. What has to happen in between? You know, and what has to happen between that 2-bedroom house and where you are now? Maybe you have to live in a trailer or a caravan or a chalet, or maybe you have to have a 1-bedroom house. Or maybe you need to get that promotion so that you can earn an extra few hundred a month. So we can start to make some goals. These can be long-term goals, short-term goals, whatever. But start thinking about what I need to do to get there. Not of, oh, there's so many things I can't do it. Actual points. What is the next step down from that? And the next step down from that? And the next step down? So once we know we need to get the caravan, we need to get the job, then we need to get the 1-bedroom house, then we need to get the promotion, and then we need to get the 2-bedroom house, and then we need to save. So we're starting to get a list of things that need to happen for us to get to that dream. It still seems a long way away. It still seems hard. But then we can start to make plans for that. So then we can look at this next step. So if we're currently living with the parents and you want to get a caravan or a chalet, well, what has to happen to get there? Do you have to get a few extra shifts at your job that you're doing? Or do you have to get someone who can look after the kids so you can work a bit extra? Maybe you need to stop buying things on eBay or Amazon. And then you see how these are now becoming smaller steps that are a little bit more attainable. And think about how long it should take you to do that. These little things that are holding you back, each one of these little steps takes you one big step closer to your dream. Even if you only get that dream in 10 years, if you'd thought that 10 years ago, you could be there by now, or almost there. Or maybe it'll take 20 years. Maybe you'll be 60 before you've reached it, but you'll be grateful when you are 60 and you have reached it, rather than if you get to 60 and wish that you tried. So start manifesting it. The dream, the goals that need to happen to get to that dream, the plans to get to each goal, and then each step. Could even go far as to plan each day. You know, each week even. This week my task is to find someone who can babysit for me while I do an extra day at work. The next week I'm going to focus on either getting another job or asking for better shifts, or, you know, working harder. I'm going to work harder so my boss wants to give me more work. The next week I can focus on whatever the next thing is, stopping spending so much money on Amazon or eBay or whatever it is. The next week I'm going to take a really deep look at my finances and work out what I'm going to do. Week by week, month by month, year by year, you're taking steps closer to your goal. New moon is a great time for beginning that process, and you can readjust your vision board, your dreams, goals, plans and steps every month, whenever you need to. Sometimes our desires change, and that's perfectly okay. So stay on track. Keep your vision board handy and look at it every day. Every day. When you get up, think about what you've got to do that day and how it's taken you even just a little bit further. Even just working is getting that extra couple of pounds or quid in the bank, or dollars, or whatever. Bit of extra money in the bank, which is taking you that little bit further. Stay positive. Share your dream with other people. The more accountable we are, the more we've got to get out and do it to save face. And also, associate yourself with people that have what you want, that have accomplished what you want. Firstly, so you can study how they've done it and replicate some of those processes. But also, we are the sum of the 10 people we see the most. If the 10 people you see the most are all living at home with their parents, the chances are you're not going to move out. If the 10 people you see the most are highly successful people, you have a much better chance of becoming successful yourself. I'm not saying ditch your friends that aren't successful, but make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that have the drive that you have. You don't want to be held back, and I'm sure other people wouldn't want to hold you back either. So just be aware of your circle, of the energy that you're taking in and giving out, and what you desire for yourself and where you want to be. So, a lot of information there to take in. Obviously, it can go more in detail. This is one of the things that I help coach people with, but this is just a basic outline that you can have a look at and see what you can do to change your life. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope this was really helpful for you, and I'll see you again in the next video.